Hello there and welcome back. In this video, this is going to be an introductory or getting started video for PostgREST. And this is basically a solution to turn your SQL Server database to a RESTful API. So you don't have to have like a Python application which is talking to a SQL database and use it as an API front end, but you can use natively Postgres to set this up. And we are going to use our trusty CentOS 10 machine. CentOS 10 machine. And there are a couple of dependencies that we will need to be installing. For example, github.com. Let me check my notes. PostgREST. Good. So you will need basically a Postgres server installed. And once the Postgres server is installed, you will be able to set it up and configure it. So there is a little bit of trick when you are configuring it with the PostgREST service, but we will see about that. There is a file called pghba.conf, and we will have to edit it. And at the bottom, you will see that on the loopback IPv4 and loopback IPv6 addresses, you have the ident method, and it has to be changed to MD5. And after that, you can enable the Postgres server. And if you want, you can use the Postgres user and PSQL command, and you are in the server. So it's technically running, and the TNL grep 5432 is going to show you it is listening. So for the PostgREST service, we will need the Postgres devel, the zlib, and the gmp devel to be installed. And then we can use the following command to install git, make, tar, wget, gccg++, and openssl. These are also all needed because we want to build it from source. You have, I think, GitHub page. If we go to the get it running, and here the latest release, and you can download it if you want as well from there. But we are going to also need a tool called stack to build it, and this stack is going to look like this. And we will select the x86-64, and with wget we will download it. And once it's downloaded, we will have to move it to the user local bin and make it executable. Good. So let's move it to the user local bin. Stack should be the file name, and chmod +x user local bin stack. And if you choose stack, you should see the help message. Good. Now that stack is also installed, we can clone the Git repository. And once the repository is cloned, we can use the cd to navigate in there. And then we can build our Postgre. And this is the stack command for it. It is going to download some packages, and it is going to be like a really long build process. Now it's unpacking. So through the magic of editing, we shall continue. Well, in 10 minutes the compilation has succeeded. So let's continue our configuration. So once it was configured, what we will have to do is to define our schema and our table to interact with it. And we can do this with the PostgREST user. And we want to enter here, and we will need a API schema, and then we will create a table, and this table is going to have an ID, a done, a task, and a do, and due date, and we will insert a value into that table. Once this is done, we have to create a role, which is basically a no login role, and we want to assign permission to this role. And we want to grant usage and select on the API table. And then we can set up the authentication for the authenticator role, and we want to grant the web anon permissions to this authenticator role. And then we can drop back to our root user and navigate to the home folder. And here we create the demo.conf. And in the demo.conf, we have a couple of variables that we have to define. The first one is going to be the dialect and basically the connection string for the Postgres database. And then the schema and the role that is going to be used. So once this is done, we should be able to use the PostgREST demo.conf with the end sign to put it in background. PostgREST. Hold on. So at the build process 207. Maybe it didn't even complete. Let's see it again. Oh, compiling. Why did it give back the prompt? Then let's wait for it to complete. Now the process is complete. So let's go back to the root folder, and we should be able to start the PostgREST with the console line. We will set up the systemd service as well. If everything goes well, you should be able to see that it was able to connect to the database and it was able to initialize itself. Otherwise, for example, if you hba.conf, if you didn't edit these two lines in the hba.conf and restart Postgres server, then the connection would fail with the current setup. So now we have a server which is capable of running. I'm going to run it in background. And what we can do is to use the curl command, and we can verify that the to-dos endpoint is available. So basically, the task finish tutorial 0, path self on the back 0. So basically, it is able to communicate with the API. And the dbeaver is not installed, but maybe. Let's stick to the original example. So the next thing that we could do if we have an API is to add a new entry or modify existing entries. So whatever the REST API concept describes. But as you can see, this is a read-only setup, which means that I will not be able to add new tasks to the to-dos endpoint. And in order to fix that, we will have to enter the PostgREST user and open up PSQL. And we will have to do an additional role configuration. So this role is going to be the to-do user with no login, and we grant it to the authenticator role. And then we grant usage on API schema, and we grant all to the APIs, to-dos, tables, to the to-do user. And that's basically it. Now, if we draw back to the root prompt, we can generate our token. And this JWT token should be echoed to the demo.conf. And if you check the demo.conf, you will see that this is the JWT secret. Now, I'm going to stop the process of the demo.conf and going to show you how you can generate basically this token to allow you to update the endpoints, so insert new data. And I am going to restart the PostgREST with the demo config to run in the background, so it picks up the JWT secret. And then I am going to create the necessary variables. So the first one is going to be the JWT secret, and this is the one that we plan to use. And then we define an underscore base64 function. It's just a modified version of the OpenSSL base64. And then we can create our header. And if you check the header, you can see that this is going to be also base64 encoded. And we will create the payload. And this is also base64 encoded. And then we create the signature. And this is where the JWT secret is going to come in handy. And this is also going to be base64 encoded. So our current token is going to look like this. And now we can create our token variable. So this is reusable, so to speak. And then we can use the curl command, and we can use the token itself. So basically, this is the place where the bearer token is specified. And as you can see, now we didn't receive any errors. And if you go with the curl against the to-dos without any special methods, now you can see that learn how to authenticate is also in the list. So we have successfully added. And basically, that's it. What we can also do is you can see that these are done false, done false, done false. And we can create a curl query and set them all to done true. So basically we say that we want to set this done to true, and then all of the basically records in the database were updated with the PostgREST API. So this is the basic concept of PostgREST, and now we are going to set up the service. So let's grab the background process, and now what we want to do is to create a directory @c PostgREST, and we are going to use sudo to do that. So mkdir @c PostgREST, and here we want to cat the demo.conf and pass it to the @c PostgREST config file. That's one thing. And now what we also want to do is to create our PostgREST service definition. And this definition looks like this. So we would like to run it as root user. Ideally, you could use or create a PostgREST user, and you have to specify the exact start and the configuration file. And basically that's it. So systemctl daemon reload and systemctl enable now PostgREST service. And if you check the status, PostgREST, you can see that it is running. So now it will start automatically if you reboot the machine. And I think even in the browser, if you use HTTP, CentOS 10 and port 3000, we will see that this is the response from the PostgREST API. And if you want, we can access the to-dos. And that's it. So technically, that was all I wanted to show you in this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.